best game for the Wii since Mario Galaxy. A franchise is born. Play Magazine. A quick internet search shows what games released in North America between Super Mario Galaxy on November 12, 2007, and this game's release on December 2, 2008. According to the quote from Play Magazine, this game is better than such heavyweights as Call of Duty World at War, No More Heroes, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and Mario Kart Wii. So what is this venerated title? Mushroom Men, The Spore Wars, which is sitting at a 72 on Metacritic? The 243rd highest rated Wii game must be better than I remembered. On this episode of Nintendo Kill Count, the show where we track every enemy killed in our playthrough of a game available on a Nintendo console to see which protagonist is the biggest murderer, we visit a game I haven't touched for at least 10 years. With my newfound ability to capture gameplay from the GameCube and Wii, I thumbed through my collection on my quest to trigger a nostalgia trip. After seeing the ridiculous box quote, I couldn't resist giving it another shot. Mushroom Men Spore Wars, or Mushroom Men as I will refer to it here on out, is an adventure platformer centered around a mushroom called Pax. Strange green meteorites have fallen across the world, giving sentience to plants and animals, and mutating and corrupting others. Pax has a mysterious ability to absorb these meteorites. To discover what causes this strange phenomena, he journeys across the land, helping others in need and fighting off evil mushrooms and animals. Most levels function as small, self-contained playgrounds requiring you to complete objectives as you explore the environment. The environments themselves, while a little bland, are pretty neat. They take place in a post-apocalyptic version of Earth, and it's neat to explore both indoor and outdoor environments from the perspective of a minuscule mushroom. Movement feels surprisingly good, and the addition of gliding means that the platforming sections are much more forgiving than other games of its ilk. These environments are fraught with danger, and mastering the combat system is a must. I say master, but if you can waggle a Wiimote, you're 90% there. Other mechanics like a jump attack, block, and dodge give the illusion of depth, but it still feels janky, especially when enemies stun lock you. The first time this happened, the rage monster inside me threatened to emerge, but after respawning and realizing I wasn't punished at all for dying, that quickly dissipated. The weapon crafting system seemed neat, but ultimately was a letdown. Collecting assorted household items and trash, you combine them to craft new weapons, which sadly are just more powerful versions of your existing weapons, and there is never a reason not to use the more powerful versions. There are 4 weapon classes with slightly different attack patterns, but 3 of them feel too similar, the only exception being the special type. These have limited ammunition but are extremely powerful. Strangely though, you can find ammo for special weapons you don't even have. In one of the first levels, I picked up ammo for the out-of-bounds incinerator. I hadn't found the pieces to craft this weapon, and in fact, I never did. Then why is the game letting me pick up ammo that I will never use? Despite my positive view of the setting and movement, as I played Mushroom Men, it constantly reminded me that it was almost 15 years old. Each level has a series of objectives that need to be completed in order to progress, but the game gives no clues on how to accomplish them. And don't get me started on the confusing backtracking. One level in particular had me stumped for over 10 minutes, so eventually I decided to retrace my steps to find some collectibles while I puzzled out what to do next. To my surprise, this backtracking led me to the 2 missing items I needed to progress the objective. Reviewing the footage to count killed enemies revealed a cutscene had played, showing new areas of the level opening up, but the game's environment is so samey looking that in the moment, I didn't notice. Modern games rely heavily on quest markers and perhaps over-explain how to progress, but I've become acclimated to this, and going back to these more obtuse systems was a bit of a shock. While not necessarily a negative, Mushroom Men also has an extremely inconsistent tone. On the one hand, it feels like a cutesy adventure game, but interspersed are these morbid scenes that are at odds with the lighthearted elements. For example, one level has you defeating 5 fairly realistic-looking bunnies that have been corrupted by the meteorites. You can accomplish this by attacking them directly with your weapon, or by utilizing environmental hazards. Causing a spinning fan to fall on a rabbit and seeing a puff of fur fly into the air, even when done in a cartoony way, still caught me off guard. In another level, you rescue an imprisoned cactus who has had both of his arms amputated. Reuniting him with his arms, he goes on to battle an evil mushroom general. At the end of the fight, he pauses, stares at your character directly in the eye, gives an enthusiastic thumbs up, and then pulls a golem and jumps into Mount Doom with the evil general in tow. My final criticism of the game, which I recognize isn't completely fair, is that the story and characters are completely forgettable. The plot is non-existent and never has any sense of progress. The characters, including your playable character Pax, are bland, and the conclusion of the story is just so blah. That being said, I never play other 3D platformers like Mario Sunshine and think, wow, saving Princess Peach was such an interesting plot, or it's incredible to see the character development of Mario. But still, it would have been nice to see more care put into the characters and story. Tracking enemy kills was straightforward until one of the last bosses, the Necromancer. During the battle, he summoned several mushroom soldiers who, after being defeated, he resurrected with his necromantic powers. Should I count these resurrected soldiers as new enemies or not? I decided to count them as a single kill, but in the grand scheme of the total kill count, it wouldn't have made much of a difference. As is often the case, I couldn't find official enemy names for all of the enemies, so I had to make some up. As Pax in Mushroom Men Spore Wars, we killed 34 Amanita Heavies, 10 Amanita Sages, 59 Amanita Scouts, 13 Moles, 16 Field Mice, 16 Spiders, 28 Hornets, 6 Scorpions, 4 Beetles, 49 Cockroaches, 9 Flies, 15 Ants, 24 Bees, 7 Giant Ants, 1 King Mole, 5 Rabbits, 1 Jackalope, 1 Queen Bee, 1 Opossum, 1 Amanita General, 1 Lepiota Necromancer, and the final boss Pester, totaling 302 enemies. This puts our little mushroom hero Pax in 5th place on the kill count ladder, just beneath Annie from Wild Guns, but still ahead of Mario from Super Mario Bros. So, would I recommend the best game on Wii since Mario Galaxy? I don't think the quote is at all accurate, but yes, I would still recommend it. I know I focused a lot on the negatives of Mushroom Men, but it checks all the key ingredients for a decent adventure platformer. It is old, so don't expect it to reinvent the genre, but it's an enjoyable 5-hour romp through a unique post-apocalyptic Earth. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next episode when we track the kill count of another video game protagonist.